All right, guys, how we doing? Hopefully this is the last laptop here at work. Should be installing a camera on my desktop here later today. Couple quick things. We all know when opening day is, obviously. Now, for the Orioles at least, it's the Monday the 11th. That has been moved to a 3:05 game. Jeff, I guess you're probably the only one there that'll be going against the Brewers, and finally pleased about that. As far as I know, the games that are being omitted haven't been put back on the schedule yet. The last time I looked, it was going to take another week or so. They were going to pencil them in at the end of the year or do a double headers or whatnot. Starting next month, we're going to do the College Shot Lunch back in person for the first time in 2+ years. We might alternate it and have a video speaker every other month. We'll see how it goes. Make it what they call it, hybrid. We're going to do that with the Peeps at the Peeb. So, but we will do it next month. The museum's given it a blessing, so we will be back there the third Wednesday of April. Any other things? I can't think. Conventions going forward. This weekend is the Analytics Conference, SABR headquarters out in Phoenix. I don't know anybody who's attending. We will likely have a chapter game prior to the convention. We have a board call this weekend, so that will be discussed. So hopefully in July or early August. Other than that, for those of you who are part of the Hall of Fame, there's a cool article on Tim Kirchin in this month's magazine. And there is also, right at the end, a pretty interesting, you can scan the barcode and look at it, about Babe Ruth's bat. Katie, I'll have to bring it in and show it to you. His notches and all that kind of stuff. Nice interactive little thing.
It's gonna be your keynote, isn't he, Peter? At the convention.
I'd love him to. Katie is the current external director. I probably butchered your title, but at the Babe Ruth Museum, she's been there for a little over 4 years. She's going to talk to us about the new exhibit on Babe Rookie Card, which is going to be officially launched right around opening day. And she can share on all the information and let you know what's transpiring. And for those of you who live locally and want tickets to opening day, you can also come to the Babe Ruth Museum party and buy tickets to the museum and support the fundraiser. So, Katie, you should be able to share if you're going to do any of that stuff too.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Katie. I guess I will say first and foremost that although I do work at a baseball museum, I am learning. I'm not, born as a baseball person, but now in my 4 years here, I know more about baseball and Babe Ruth than I thought I ever would. So it's been really interesting. I guess I'll start out with the video that shows you a little behind the scenes, and then I'll talk about the exhibit a little bit. So let me find that. Oh man, it's saying that it is too big. Let's see. We'll do it like this. Okay, you guys see that little screen?
Yep.
All right. Give me a little something in the chat if you guys can't hear it.
In American culture, we have a phenomenon called the collecting of baseball cards. So what is it about a baseball card that makes it so collectible? Recently, the Babe Ruth Museum entered the national spotlight with the announcement that one of the most valuable baseball cards ever, a Babe Ruth rookie card, is going to be put on display. So, what does it take to build an exhibit to house one of the most valuable baseball cards ever, the Babe Ruth rookie card? Let's pull back the curtain and take a look.
When I first heard that the rookie card was coming back here to stay, I was really excited. I knew that we would build a beautiful exhibit to house the rookie card itself, but even more important to me was kind of the story of the whole exhibit and the story of Babe's career.
A first step for the museum was to find an exhibit designer, and for me this was not an issue because I've had a relationship with a fellow who works for Cambridge 7 up in Boston, and his name is Peter Soligo.
We knew that Peter was perfect to work on this exhibit. He's done a lot of projects with us in the past. We have a really great history together.
He also has done jobs of national acclaim, like the aquarium here in Baltimore, San Francisco 49ers Museum, and the Little League Museum up in Williamsport.
You're dealing with a card that's essentially 5 inches by 3 or 4 inches. So how do you do that? So what we decided to do together with the museum was to develop a special case and center the card in it. And the challenge is to do that from an air and light and temperature point of view. It was preserved. We had to make sure it was secure. Not only the case had to be secure as itself, but it had to be secure in the museum.
So this exhibit is really about more than just the Babe Ruth rookie card. The show is called The Making of a Legend, and it features a lot of components of Babe Ruth's life and legend, and that requires more artifacts, but also graphics.
So our graphics firm, First Floor Graphics, is run by a woman named Carol Green. They do all of our printing of captions and layouts, pretty much anything that you see in the background of an exhibit and some of our big images that we have. We reached out to them and they were ready to get to work.
Originally, the museum came to me and said, we have this opportunity to create a new exhibit. So we had on-site meetings. We put together some renderings, some concepts and colors, and went back and forth with the staff.
Now, a final component for building this show is the casework, and we had to find someone who had built cases for priceless artifacts before. And we found the company by the name of Mystic Scenic, also out of Massachusetts, to do the job.
So Mystic Scenic was selected by Cambridge 7 to work with us. It was our first time working with them. They are super detailed. They wanted to know exactly what the cards were going to be set in so they could get the measurements on that case exactly right, get the angles on that case right, and make it fit into our existing display downstairs.
You know, I've worked here for a long time, and my persistent goal is to make people happy with the stories that we tell. And I think in this case, we have a tremendous opportunity with one of the most valuable artifacts that we've ever displayed.
So working on exhibits is one of my favorite parts of my job. It can be really stressful, but when it finally opens, seeing the reaction on everyone's faces when they come to look at something as special as the rookie card is really what it's all about.
Hello, I'm Sean Hearn, Executive Director of the Babe Ruth Birthplace Foundation. New exhibits like the Making of a Legend are made possible by viewers like you. Your support allows us to preserve, exhibit, and interpret our sports heritage and ensures that the birthplace will be around for years to come. We hope that you will visit the museum or make a contribution at baberuthmuseum.org.
All right, so just a little behind the scenes, kind of like the stuff that no one ever really gets to see. And in making an exhibit, there is always some sort of last minute change or readjustment. This time it was changing the layout of the case to add 2 additional slots for cards. We had to do shuffling around of everything that was already in the case to add 2 additional cards that are from that same 1914 set. And we're really excited. So today we have, this is not official, but a press release will be coming out. Our official opening to the public is going to be April 15th, which is the start of the Yankees series here in Baltimore. So we expect an influx of visitors. So it seemed like a really great time to open it to everyone. So if you're here for opening day, won't be there until later in the week, but very, very soon, and very exciting that we finally have a date to move forward with. So the cards were originally collected by a Baltimorean named Archibald Davis. He was a kid when he collected them. I believe they came out as a freebie in the Sun paper. And so he kept them in a shoebox. I think he had 13 of these 15 cards. So he kept them, handed them down to his kids. Last summer, they were purchased by an anonymous owner, and he has placed them on an indefinite loan with the museum, which is really great. We are happy to have them for as long as we can. And the exhibit that we've built downstairs kind of like highlights some of the artifacts that were down there. We added some new things. There is a signed Babe Ruth baseball that is from 1927. That's either home run 50, I think it's 50 or 51. And, you know, just one of those home runs on the way to 60 that year. So that's a really, really cool thing that we've added to the case that has a Babe Ruth bat from 1927. And that 1927 bat that we have on display downstairs also has notches. Like Peter was saying, in the Hall of Fame magazine that they put out, they have that article about the Babe Ruth bat that has notches. So those notches are something that's commonly seen or seen on some of Babe's bats. And then let me see my chat. Okay, so I think that definitely, like, how has the museum impacted my fandom and what's it like working at the museum? I love history, so being able to work hands-on with artifacts and just really, really unique things from the wide world of Maryland sports is the best part of my job. I love being a part of making a new exhibit, you know, writing the copy, learning the little stories behind things that we have. And yeah, I think that I've come to appreciate baseball a lot more. Definitely appreciate Babe Ruth for like his historical and cultural impact. And then from a playing standpoint, like Babe Ruth really has it all. And it's really neat to work at, you know, the birthplace of an American icon. And I think that if I were to move on to a museum from here, I would have to pick another American icon because you can't get much better than Babe. And I certainly don't want to go any lower than that. So, so I guess that's how it's impacted me personally. What else can I say about the exhibit? Yeah, and if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask me.
Katie, let them know, didn't we originally have the card? We got it originally in the 90s, and then it was out, and then there was a little bit of a fight over who owned it and whatnot.
So the card has been on display at the museum for 20 years, and just kind of like in a quiet, unassuming case that, you know, the caption for it says it's one of, I can't remember what the number now, it's either one of 10 or 12 that exist. And we knew that the price tag for it would be pretty high. I think that what we had on our caption was like 1.5 million, or that's the figure that I had heard. And then, you know, recently it sold for over 6 million. So yeah, so when they were originally collected by this family, he passed them down to his kids. And then I think there was a little bit of the two sides of that family fighting over the right to these cards in their parents' estate. So one party ended up winning. I think that they probably settled for some sum of money with the other side of the family. And then they were bought for, I don't know the actual figure, but I think it's around $6 million that the set of cards sold for. And then the original owner had intended to leave them on display with us until 2023. And the new owner, you know, plans to leave them indefinitely. So we're really happy that they didn't go away. So yes, the birthplace is, it's made out of 4 row houses, and it's right around the corner from Camden Yards, maybe five minutes or something. And then the other museum that the Babe Ruth Birthplace Foundation operated was Sports Legends, and that was right outside of the warehouse, kind of on Maryland Stadium Authority land. That closed in 2015, and So now the Babe Ruth Museum operates just this museum, which includes Babe Ruth, but it also includes pieces of our other collection, which encompasses everything from Maryland sports. So that's athletes who are from Maryland or athletes who have played for Maryland teams. So we try to showcase some of those things when we have space, because it is a row house and we are a little cozy in here. So we have the Super Bowl V Lombardi trophy is part of our collection. That's on display downstairs. We have the Orioles 1983 World Series trophy that is also on display downstairs. We are the Orioles official museum, and we are the official archives of the Baltimore Colts. So probably the bulk of our collection is Orioles and Colts, although we do have some Ravens stuff. We have a couple Negro League things, but as you know, a lot of the Negro League, like artifacts were sold when the Negro Leagues folded. So there's not a lot of stuff that exists from that league anymore. We have a couple things that are really special. So Peter was saying that in, I guess, the most recent edition of the Cooperstown magazine, it's called Memories, I think, they have a spread in the back of it that features a Babe Ruth bat, and like right around the, like Louisville, I'm not sure what kind of bat it is, but right around like the Louisville Slugger insignia, they have like these notches that almost look like a starburst, and it tells you a little bit about the bat. So it doesn't really relate to the cards, but it relates to something else that we have on display, which is another notched, thank you. That is another Babe Ruth notched bat.
Katie, the card itself, what company produced it, or how was it produced?
So I'm pretty sure that it was in the Baltimore Sun as a freebie, and I don't know that it has any sort of I'm looking it up. I don't think that there's any sort of company that had made them. I don't remember seeing anything on the card. Let me see. I'm trying to pull up a photo of it, because on the back it's just the schedule of the season. I don't think that there's any identifying, like card company. Could be very wrong. Let's see. Yep, it's on the front. It says Ruth, pitcher, International League, Baltimore Orioles, and on the back, just compliments of Baltimore International League. There's nothing else on there but the schedule on the back. So that's a really great question. So I'm not sure if it was just produced by the newspaper, but good question.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, Jeff. And I know, I'm not sure if the Cooperstown, Mike had showed it to me real quick. I'm not sure if the Cooperstown one explains what the notches are for. I think on our caption downstairs, we're not super sure what the notches mean. There are 7 notches on this bat, and we're like, is that home runs that he hit with the bat? Is that how many hot dogs he ate? It could mean anything. Maybe they're just bored in the dugout, started carving away at their bats. But it's neat that you can see the similarity with some of those notched bats. Okay, cool. And then I wonder if ours is the same. Home run count. But I like the hot dogs eaten too. Could be both.
Guys have any questions for Katie? I mean, you guys will be talking to her in person this summer, those who come to the convention since the
Yeah, hi, I do again. This is Stu from Minnesota. Thanks for answering the question, Katie, on where things were, are, and are again. So it sounds like this is back on that street where Babe really was born and all of that. One of the things, well, in 1995, I left a note at Babe Ruth's grave. And a few years later, somebody told me to go to the Babe Ruth Museum because some note that you left is in a display window there. And I was able to get a picture of it. But I know you're cramped for space, and I'm happy you're doing things, especially with a with the Baltimore Colts. I mean, it's a different sport, but I look at the Colts as Baltimore's team, not the Ravens. But there was a nice little window display on Babe Ruth's death, stuff from his funeral and his grave and all of that. Do you still have anything like that with stuff on his death? I'm kind of morbid, I guess. That's why I focus on that.
So there are a few, I think there's a panel that has some information about the funeral, but not too much. It's not something that we really focus on. In one of the new panels that we added for the new exhibit, we added an interesting fact about Babe was that he was one of the first people to receive chemotherapy and radiation for his cancer treatment, because that was, I think they hadn't even done like animal trials, but the doctors had opened up, this specialized, highly experimental treatment for Babe. So I guess that's the only recent mention, is that, with his illness and his death, he really impacted, one, the way that cancer patients are treated. Like Babe wasn't told that he had cancer when he was diagnosed, which is like something that would not happen today, like a patient's rights. To know everything that's going on with their health was not as big back then as it is now. And that was something that Babe kind of influenced. And also, chemotherapy and radiation has become like the standard treatment. And before Babe, it wasn't. So.
Oh, that's interesting. Thanks.
You guys who didn't know, there's a lot of stuff obviously that isn't on display. So it's very possible, Stu, your letter and that kind of stuff that was at his graveside or part of his funeral service from Yankee Stadium and St. Patrick's Cathedral and everything could be offsite in one of our warehouse rooms. We do have a great, meaning the museum itself, have a great relationship with Babe's family. So a lot of the artifacts that were actually his were given to us over the years by the family, by his daughter Julia, or grandchildren, including his Claire's wedding dress a few years ago that we got. So there are a lot of items that may exist that just aren't currently for public view.
Yeah, that's kind of normal for a museum. And I can just tell you, I was thrilled when I got there and saw it. And there was a baseball there too that somebody had left. And all my thing was a cruddy note. I hadn't brought anything to his grave. And apparently folks from the museum were there right afterwards. But I did get a nice picture of it. And it's on my webpage for Hall of Fame graves, along with a picture of Babe's grave.
I'll actually share something we found the other day when we were looking through some Babe things. And I'll answer Ryan's question in the meantime. So organizing events like Birthday Bash can be really fun. In the past couple of years, we've been really lucky to get some great guests. So like this year we had Matt Wieters and JJ Hardy, and it's just such a treat to watch guys who used to play together kind of like slip right back into the relationship that they had and reminisce, and like people's recall is just absolutely crazy. And then last year we had like an outstanding panel on Babe Ruth. We had Mark Teixeira, who went to high school in Maryland, kind of like moderate that. We had Tom Schieber from the Hall of Fame join us and give his expertise. So it's fun to interact with all those experts. All right, how do I share this guy? Sorry, sometimes it feels like I'm learning this all over again. Okay, so we found this the other day. So it's a hotel card. I'll read it. So it says, we ask our male guests, both military and civilian, to refrain from mixing with unescorted ladies at other tables. Compliance with this request will save embarrassment to you, to us, and to the ladies involved. We also maintain a most rigid policy regarding the service of intoxicating beverages to minors and to persons under the influence of alcohol. Please cooperate with us in observance of these rules. And we're like, what is this? And then on the back, signed by Babe Ruth. And I just think the subject matter of that hotel card and the Babe Ruth signature is so funny. So, we'll find some of these like really interesting things. There's also an envelope that we have, and on the back of it, it says like, this is, I am Babe Ruth and I attest that this is a lock of my hair. And I'm like, he's got, I don't think the hair is in the envelope, but it's so strange. And it makes you wonder, like, where did this come from? Or what was the purpose behind this lock of hair that he apparently mailed to someone? So being able to find stuff like that, or just go through photos of Babe that, I've never seen, is really, really, really fun. That's the best part. Kind of like searching for that diamond in a rough. So I'm sure this letter from Babe's grave is somewhere downstairs in our mounds and mounds of Babe stuff.
Katie, I have a question. Does the museum engage in inter-museum loaning of artifacts and stuff? And the reason I ask is when I go back home to Cleveland, I always stop at the Baseball Heritage Museum at Old League Park. And they have, I think it's Babe Ruth's 500th home run that he hit at League Park sometime in the late 20s.
Wow.
And I don't know if any other museums around the country where Babe Ruth hit his 100th, 200th, 300th, 400th, 600 home runs, etc., would have copies of, or the actual ball.
Right. So I do know that, we have been approached before to lend things to certain museums. I'm not sure currently what is out there or not. And then we do have several things here that are on loan. Like we have Babe's original marriage certificate, which is on loan from the Howard County Historical Society. So we do share artifacts between museums. And then I think a couple, I can't remember if it was Cleveland, but other museums have shared, Babe related, whether it's someone who passed one of his records, they'll share with us a lineup card if we want to put that on display. So yeah, we do a bit of trading with other museums.
Okay. And as a side note, thanks for, I got the invitation for, I think it's your opening day bash. So you're restarting that up. What is the situation with COVID in terms of attending the event?
So we are doing what we've done in the past, which is shutting down the entire street. The museum will be closed that day. So anyone who's in our footprint of the street or the museum, it'll be like a private party. So we've requested 500 tickets. So that is our max, I guess, for this party. And I think in the past we've had more people than that. But we'll try to spread them out. People should be mindful of, like wearing your mask if that's what makes you most comfortable, because there is no mandate in the city anymore. We're not enforcing an inside mask policy as far as I know, but just if folks want to wear it, then they're more than welcome to. And yeah, so the city had not been allowing street closure permits, I think, for the past 2 years, but they've opened them back up. So as far as I know, Pickles is doing what they usually do, which is closing the street. And then Quigley's, which is around the corner from us, is doing the same thing. They close the street down and they have a big party. So I would say semi back to normal with, the added precaution that everyone should take for themselves if that's what makes them feel most comfortable. So yeah, our opening day party is scheduled for Monday, April 11th. It'll be held from 11:30 to 2:30. We offer combo tickets, which gets you the all-you-can-eat lunch, beer, wine, soda, and a game ticket for $90. Our ticket cost and our food and beverage costs went up significantly, so we try to keep pricing pretty stable. I think last year it was $85, so we raised it a little bit. And then there's a party-only ticket. If you already have season tickets or if you have tickets to the game, you can come by for our party, which also includes free parking. for $65. So it's a great time. Opening day, definitely one of my favorite events since I started working here. I always think like baseball people have just always been so nice to me since I've gotten here, and just the beginning of the season and opening day and the return of like the smell of hot dogs cooking it does not get any better than that. So I'm really excited that we're sort of coming back to normalcy a little bit there. So if you're interested in tickets, email me, call me. I can have Peter share my contact info if you're interested.
Thank you.
Just to let you guys know, in Baltimore City, there is no mask mandate except public transportation, I believe still, and anything medical. If you go to a hospital or outpatient center or anything like that, they're still 100% mask up, and probably will be for a while. Anybody else? So Jeff, hopefully, and Tom, hopefully I'll see you guys next month in person. Come down to the in-person lunch.
Looking forward to it.
The third Wednesday in April.
Yep.
The 20th, I believe that. Yeah, okay.
Then you'll be able to see the cards.
Yeah, the card will be out by then. So other than that, I think everything's moving forward. Orioles, the tickets are on sale. Those who are going to opening day are scrounging around to get their stuff. SABR, where the national convention, we're locked in for that Friday night game against Boston. I'm not sure yet because of SABR, because of the analytics conference this weekend. We haven't gone forward and done a lot of planning just yet on the convention, but that will speed up really quickly. There is a likelihood, though not definite, that either Bowie or Aberdeen will offer, since the Orioles obviously are out of town that Sunday because they're in Williamsport, that maybe there'll be a SABR adjunct game for people who are in the area to go, because both Bowie and the Ironbirds are home, and I think Frederick might be too. So, so we're moving forward. As you guys know, who are coming, tickets are on sale for those who are going to make reservations at the Hyatt, and you can book your. I don't think the price goes up until sometime in June or July, and book your registration for the convention, all inclusive or the other one. And so, a lot more to come. Hopefully you got the Baltimore Chop last week it came out. We hope to be moving on that and doing more often now that the season is back. As you know, some of the officers changed for the chapter, so I don't think that much will change, except now we will have more in-person events. We appreciate Katie's time today. I can see she's hard at work. I see all of her collectibles right behind her by the window. If you guys don't have any more questions, I have to get back to work, like a good, productive citizen. If you have anything, just email me. We will be doing the Baseball Babble Sunday, the 27th at 7 p.m. And then our next peaks at the Peeb is, I think it's April 6th, if I'm not mistaken. And some folks from Johns Hopkins will be talking to us. They're working with SABR a lot and doing some analytic type things that I'm sure I can't explain because it's kind of over my head. And then we'll start doing hybrid events, assuming COVID doesn't roar back like it is in Europe. If you're following that, it's several countries are not doing too good. But hopefully our society is a little bit past that, and we've seen the the last of the Hydra for a while. So August 17th is the convention. It's very likely August 6th might be our SABR group event at the Orioles. I think that's a Pirates weekend. So that's remains to be seen, but that's what we're leaning towards right now. And I guess that's it. And obviously, guys, if those are on Facebook or whatever, follow the museum, follow our all the happenings going on here. And for those who aren't local, hopefully I will see you all by August 17th. If you're looking at the schedule, just to let you know, for those who wanted to see a Nationals game, Nationals are out of town during the convention, but they are in town, I think, Monday through Wednesday. You know, the convention technically starts Wednesday night against the Cubs. So if you got here a day or so early, you could probably get down and see a National League game, since it's only 40 miles from Camden Yards. I guess that's about it, unless anybody else has any other questions or comments. Nope.
Nope.
Francis?
Yes. No, I don't have any questions, but I am planning on coming to the convention. I'm registered.
Yeah, hopefully we get the 700-800 people we think we're going to get. So that would be awesome.
Mhm.
The downtown is kind of dead for those of you who haven't been here in a while. There's a lot of things that have disappeared thanks to COVID and whatnot. But in terms of restaurants and stuff, you'll see a lot of empty spaces. But the attractions are still there, the museums and the aquarium and the zoo and whatnot. So there's definitely things to do. You just have less choice in terms of where you want to eat. Yeah. But well, I'm going to sign off. Thank you, Katie. Thanks everybody at the museum for all their service.
Thank you.
And
Looking
I'll see a
forward
couple
to
of you
meeting
guys opening day.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Yes.
You too. Bye-bye.
Right.